Hi, good morning. My name is Ezekiel and I want to give you the welcome to Marseille, the oldest city in France. 2,600 years old of history. The city founded by Greek sailors in the year 600 before Christ is exactly the very place, the old port, the heart of this city. Let me tell you something else. The city changed a lot in the last 10 years. Marseille in the year 2013 joined the program Capital of European Culture with the idea to become a touristical place, and the city engaged this program. They do it really seriously. They changed pretty much all downtown to be more nice, more comfortable for the tourists. Okay? For example, this place, the Old Port. The Old Port was completely remade by a famous architect, in fact. It's from England. It's a series called Norman Foster. Well, we are now in one of the most famous, probably the most famous street in Marseille, the famous Canebière Avenue. This used to be the main street in the city a couple of years ago. After the year 2013, the city decided to make this avenue 100% pedestrian, so no more cars allowed. So now it's a beautiful place to walk around. This is one of the oldest parts of the city. There was the old Greek harbor. The old port used to be much more bigger when the Greeks arrived, and the original shoreline used to be pretty much all over this place. In the ancient times, the vessels used to sail into this sector, and as you can see there with the models, they used to weigh the cargo of the commodities the city used to trade. Also in this place, we have the History Museum in Marseille, a beautiful, nice place for the geeks who like history like me. If you visit this place, this is a place you cannot miss. Also, it's for free. Just behind me, we have a famous building here in the city, Hotel Dieu. Believe it or not, this was a hospital. It doesn't look like a hospital because it's a very old building. To give you an idea, this hospital was constructed here when France used to be still a kingdom. I'm talking about before the French Revolution. Now it's a 5-star hotel. It's operated by the Intercontinental Hotel chain. It's a famous hotel chain. They operate 5-star hotels all over the world, and is one of the most expensive hotels in town since the year 2013. Unfortunately, during World War II, the French patrimony suffered a lot, and Marseille was not the exception. Around 60% of the old medieval downtown in the city was destroyed by the Nazis. Only a few buildings were left behind. For example, the city hall just behind me, around 400 years old, and even today is still the city hall. If you came to visit this city, you cannot live without a piece of the most popular product in the city, the famous Archie Megatop, famous Marseille soap. Okay, in this city we have the best soap in the world. Okay, you will see a lot of shops like this one all around selling soap, because the soap here is extremely popular. The city has almost 1,000 years of tradition making the best soap in the world. Well, it's so good because it's made with an insane amount of olive oil in its composition. 72% of oil in each soap. That's why it's so good for the skin. Believe me, it's the soap I use at home. I have 65 years old, and the soap of Marseille makes miracles in my skin. If you come to visit us, talking about traditions, you cannot leave this city without at least one glass of the most popular drink we have here. I'm talking about the famous pastis, okay? Let me warn you something. Pastis is an anise flavored booth, and people love it or people hate it. There's nothing in the middle, but you have to taste it. In case if you don't like it, if you're here, don't panic. Just call me and I go there and I drink it for you. Trust me, I'm a professional. We are now in the middle of one of the most emblematic neighborhoods in this city, the famous neighborhood of Le Panier. Le Panier, it means the basket, and this one here is the oldest neighborhood in France. Not because it contains the oldest buildings, it's because people live in this neighborhood without any interruption since the year 600 before Jesus Christ. And we are now in front of the Cathedral of Marseille, the one and only cathedral. Most of the tourists confuse the Church of Notre-Dame with the cathedral. Notre-Dame is just the church, and this is the cathedral. Saint-Marie-le-Major is an amazing building. One of the last cathedrals constructed in France, only 170 years old, but it's a beautiful building. If you have the chance to visit this place, don't hesitate to get into and take a look. Take inside, take a look at everything, the roof, the walls, but don't forget the floor. The floor inside this cathedral is insane. One of the biggest neo-Roman mosaics in the world. Around 350 years ago, at the times of the King Louis XIV, he ordered the construction of two imponent fortresses to protect the city of Marseille in case of enemy attacks. We have the fortress of St. John just behind me, the fortress of St. Nicholas at the opposite shore. Now, inside this one, the fortress of St. John, since the year 2013, we have an amazing museum, one of my favorite museums here in town. It's called the Museum of Civilizations of Europe and the Mediterranean Sea. If you come to Marseille, you have to visit this place, which the access is in fact for free. Okay? You cannot miss it. And if you came to Marseille, you cannot miss this place, the famous Church of Notre-Dame de la Garde, the symbol of Marseille. So important that nobody called it by his name in this city. Everybody called it La Bonne Mère, which it means the good mother. This building is the symbol of Marseille. Let me tell you something about the history of the place because it's amazing. It used to be a medieval fortress 500 years ago. With the passage of the centuries, the fortress became obsolete, so it was pretty much abandoned. And only 170 years ago, the Emperor Louis Napoleon III ordered the construction of this church we see here. But the most important part is, at the time, they didn't blow up the fortress, destroy the fortress to make place for the church. They simply put the church, boom, on top of the fortress. Just behind me at the bottom, I have a group of mountains there. That is the amazing Calanques National Park. It's an amazing place to visit, specifically in summer. Beautiful beaches, amazing place to hike, to climb. And it's in the top 5 of the most beautiful landscapes in the Mediterranean Sea. So if you came to Marseille, you have to visit the Calanques National Park. One of the most beautiful spots in Marseille are the Islands of Riviera. We have a group of islands just in front of the shoreline. Beautiful place to visit, beautiful beaches, amazing medieval buildings, Renaissance buildings, some Nazi bunkers abandoned from World War II. But the biggest star in the islands is a medieval castle, just in the middle. It's called officially the Castle of If, but it's more popular known as the Castle of the Count of Monte Cristo, because in the famous book of Alexander Dumas, the history happened in the city here, and the Count of Monte Cristo was shaded in that castle for 70 years waiting for his revenge. And I will tell you no more because you have to read the book and you have to visit the castle. From the top of the Church of Notre-Dame de la Garde, we have an amazing viewpoint of the football stadium of the city. That is the house of the Olympique Marseille, the OM, the most popular football club in the city and one of the most popular football clubs in France. In fact, it's the only football club in the history of this country who won the Champions League in the year 1993.
If you're coming to the French Riviera and want to find out more about the region's rich history and culture, why not take a tour with us? Visit www.rivierabarcrawltours.com and join us.